This bottle is labeled ground fish scales. You pick up the bottle labeled ground fish scales and take it with you. The shelves are filled with numerous items. The shelf. Within the glass container, you see your ground scales. The powder emits a faint, fishy smell. They just give you a stomachache and bad breath. This is Mananan. You are not. You are not. You are on a flight of... There is nothing. You are not. You are not. Watch your step. Consuming any of the jar's contents would greatly reduce your longevity. You pick. You'd rather touch at... You'd rather touch... You search the top of the closet. You don't find anything interesting. You'd rather... There is no... Perhaps... There is... There... There is no... There is... You'd rather... There... You... Man... There... Man... Per... There... There... You'd... Nothing under the carpet except the dust you've swept there. You succeed in blowing a few more specks of dust under the carpet. A rectangular rug has been laid out to welcome Manannan's feet each morning. You feel for it. Manannan's elegant bedchamber is a You search behind the clothes. You don't find anything interesting. You search the top of the closet. Nothing under the carpet. The oak cabinet has a brass handle on its door. You try to turn the handle, but the door is locked. You can't. Within the glass container, you just walk. You quickly pull the levers in the correct sequence. Often you have wished you could crawl into a hole. You pull out your magic map. You feel a strange pulling sensation. It's a massive anchor. Perhaps it got left behind. The old rusted anchor is much too heavy to move. It's sunk to greater depths than the one you're in.
Be for you, sir? A good pull of ale, or you rather a dram of rum? Can I help you there?
Just wondering where this instrument came from.
Young man used to come in here a long time ago. About your age, according to me daddy. Had that thing he liked to play. Seemed to make him happy.
It tells many a tale most truthful, if played in the hands of the tuneful. This instrument looks out of place here. A tapestry, which bears a striking resemblance to the Jolly Roger, hangs next to a lute on the wall. Bottles of rum and ale line the shelves behind the bar. Perfect place for sitting. Perfect. It is a little pot-bellied wood stove. Through the window, you see the village and the woods beyond. The town tavern is a haven for visitors, reputable and otherwise, to engage in behavior suitable and otherwise. The barrels contain a fair quantity of rum. You'll notice that one is dripping and has the letters DB etched into the side. These tables are rarely unoccupied. The proprietor does well to keep the patrons happy and drinking. The town tavern is a haven for The town A pretty buxom barmaid stands there with an air of hardened determination. You get the feeling that she doesn't take guff from anybody. Bottles of You'd rather keep your mouth away from those windows. You won't get much out of those, except rum. There is no response. You'd be worried if the skull on the tapestry were to talk back. While it does need cleaning, you're out of your jurisdiction. You'll get splinters. If you want to keep warm, go back to bed. 100 bottles of rum on the wall. You won't get.
The lute made this young man happy?
Nah, he ain't done it for the money. Just like to play is all. You know, entertain the customers.
Who was he?
Don't rightly remember. I was only a wee mite then. Think he lived with the wizard, though I might be mistaken.
Why does the lute now hang on the wall?
One day the young man stopped coming over. Daddy found the instrument lying just outside. Said it was real weird how the air around it smelt all smoky, though there weren't no fire about. Anyway, he put it on the wall, in case the man should come back for it.
Do you think he will?
Hard to say. No one's seen him in years.
May I borrow the lute?
You one of them musy types?
Yes, I am.
I like a man who explores his creative side.
Indeed, I'd very much like to practice with it.
Of course you can have it.
Thank you.
If you agree to play for the establishment.
You want me to play for you?
You're catching on good.
I don't think that I'm ready to perform publicly.
Oh, go on. We ain't had a good performance round here for years.
I couldn't. Really.
Well, the loot will be there if you change your mind.
What do you sell here?
For you, I'd sell more than this here tavern offers. But me husband won't be appreciating that.
I meant,
What's that?
drinks.
Oh,
Somehow you.
this place can sell you the finest liquor.
Anything else?
What else is there?
Any news from abroad?
You talking about gossip?
Well, sort of. The kind one hears from other countries.
Don't get much in the way of foreign gossip. Except from the sailors, of course.
Sailors?
Sure. They drop anchor, come in here, drink themselves full, then set sail again.
Incredible.
That we get sailors in here?
No, that there aren't wrecked ships all up and down the coastline.
You have nothing else to say to the barmaid at the moment. Mouths are for flutes, hands are for lutes. You can't use that item there. She doesn't appear to be interested in that.
I'll give it a try.
Wonderful.
I'm a bit rusty.
You sure are.
Can I have the lute now?
Wouldn't feel right giving it to someone who's not musy enough. Sorry.
Keep your dirty hands to yourself. Your hands are grubby enough. No need to dirty them further by rubbing them on your clothes. You scoop up a cupful of ocean water. Despite your closeness to the mountain, a rushing stream, the flowers, a waterfall. Despite your This is a pleasant area, marred only by a dark opening in the hillside. A huge spider web covers the entrance. The area offers tranquility, but you've no time to indulge. There's nobody around to sling it at. You kneel and scoop some of the mud onto the wooden spoon. You search among the hanging mistletoe until you find... What a beautiful garden, you think. You can't... You can't... You can't... You take a handful of fertile soil from the garden. You can't... This is...
Scram!
There's now a handprint on the pane. These two are certainly After you scoop up a small handful of sand. Your eyes adjust.
What is this place?
You're carrying a handful of sand from the desert. The dried sprig of mistletoe is a thick grayish green with remnants of little berries still attached. It is not a pretty plant. The metal cup has ocean water in it. The fish must have been on dry land for a considerable amount of time already, as its aroma is less than desirable. The mere thought of drinking salt, that would leave you with... There's nobody around whom you feel like kissing. There's nothing you can do with a handful of sand right now.
Who comes to my den?
Just a man.
Man? I have known many called man. All wretched, all deceitful. Now, all stone. As a man, you are not capable of honesty, of truth.
But I am.
As a man, you exist only to break a woman's heart. Shallowness and fear are your bane. Come closer, and I will destroy you. If you would look upon me, foolish boy, then reveal your true self.
How?
Hear me in earnest, and respond in kind. A blind man asks you to describe the sunset. A poor girl offers to sell you a rotten apple from her basket. A harem slave asks for help. Her master will beat her once he learns of her escape. She offers her services. An old man who reeks of the world's worst stenches asks for shelter. After many years of correspondence with the lady, you propose. Upon meeting her in person, she is far less attractive than she described.
You feel a strange sensation overcoming your body. You feel a sharp pain as your limbs begin to stiffen. Hey, looks aren't everything. You pull out. You pull. You feel a. catch of the day. Leave the the st if you pat you can't
What'll it be for you, sir? A good puller, eh?
that would surely invite a dark fate. Your presence would not be appreciated.
Get lost! Beat it, kid. Beat it, kid. Wench! Come over here, more ale!
What do you sell here?
For you. What's that?
Drink.
Oh,
Somehow you doubt
this place.
Anything.
What else?
Get lost!
Can I help?
Just one.
Yeah.
the barmaid looks like she can handle anything from rowdy patrons to sneaky thieves. Better not press your luck.
The lute.
The barmaid
What is the
there is the barmaid
May I?
You. If you.
I'll give it a try.
Wonderful. You sure?
Can I have the lute?
Wouldn't feel.
the town tavern. Using your hand, you make using your hand. Try a little. Use. You can't. You search him.
Hurry up.
It's a bit.
You take a. You left your green thumbs at home. Just right. So you take it with you. You can't use that item there. You can't. You pick and poke. You don't need. You scoop up a small handful of sand. You retrieve the dried snakeskin from the hot desert sand. You pull out your... You feel a stream... You don't feel like... The stairway leading to the first floor has wide steps. Several are very creaky, and you've always tried to avoid them. This is the main entrance.
I am hungry. Prepare me a meal at once.
Manannan is impatiently waiting for his food.
I'm curious, Master.
A dangerous mindset, boy.
I know, but I was wondering, how powerful are you?
Impudence!
Not at all. I was just wondering, if Ludor were to be invaded, would it be well protected by your magic?
Of course, irrelevant though that notion is, invaders would never reach these shores. My spells over the wind and weather would destroy any hostiles long before they caught sight of this land.
You surmise that you won't be taking any boat trips while he's around.
As for invaders from the west, they would only meet their demise in the endless scorched wasteland, and even if they endured, they would never survive an encounter with that desert beauty.
Manannan's mouth flickers upwards slightly in an odd manner. If you didn't know any better, you'd say he was thinking about someone he fancied. You wonder who it might be. Manannan does not appear in much of... You take a moment's respite at the table next to your master. The wizard is not amused by your actions.
I tried to be patient with you, Gwydion, but this is the
You found yourself pestering a wizard one